The wisdom of Solomon. Then there came 2 women to the king, and stood before him. The one woman said, "O my lord, this woman and I live in one house, and I bore a child in the house with her. And it happened that 3 days afterward, this woman bore a child too. We were together, and there was no one else in the house with the 2 of us. This woman's child died in the night, and she arose at midnight and took my son from beside me while your handmaid slept. And she took him in her arms and laid her dead child in my arms. And when I rose in the morning to nurse my child, I saw that it was dead. But when I looked at it in the daylight, I found that it was not my own son." The other woman said, "No, the living is my son, and the dead is your son." And the first woman said, "No, the dead is your son, and the living is my son." Thus they argued before the king. Then the king said, "The one says, 'This is my son that is alive, and your son is the dead child.' The other says, 'No, your son is the dead one, and my son is the living.' So the king said, 'Bring me a sword.' And they brought him a sword. 'Divide the living child in 2, he said, "and give half to the one and half to the other." Then the mother to whom the living child belonged spoke to the king, for her heart ached for her son. And she said, "O Lord, give her the living child, but by no means kill it." But the other said, "Let it be neither mine nor yours, but divide it." Then the king answered and said, "Give the first woman the living child, and by no means kill it. She is the mother of it." All Israel heard of the judgment which the king had handed down, and they respected the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to give judgments.